make it on the bus.
Thank you. Good luck with your sales.
The Instagram can wait. Peace. Listen to the fam, bro.
From the relative solitude of training camp in California, the U.S. men's soccer team headed to New York for Media Day.
I love you, bro. I love you. Hey!
I don't know if you met everyone.
Y'all gonna win for us, right? We want y'all to win. We're gonna put pressure on you.
We're backing around.
Hold up. I might change my clothes.
Guys running around.
I'm gonna change my clothes. That's the first time I wear it. I'm gonna change my clothes.
There you go, man. Wear
Hi,
well.
guys. Can I start you down here, please? Let's put you all on this side so we have your fans behind you. Okay, fans, when you come in, you're going to cheer for him, right? He'll come by, say hi to him.
You know, I think in those moments you feel kind of small because you're literally with this, you know, with this guy who's just a mega global superstar.
It's crazy. First being in New York, when I'm come from a small town like Nacogdoches and being around all the people just in the streets, and then it was crazy seeing myself on some of the billboards. I think it's a sign of the times that the game is growing and people are excited about the U.S. team and us going to the World Cup.
In just over a week, it's wheels up to Brazil. ESPN FC sends off the U.S. national team. It starts right now.
We're getting closer and closer to the World Cup. You just count the days. You want to get down there and get this thing started.
How important is this game on Sunday for you to assess your back line going into this difficult group at the World Cup?
Well, every preparation game now is obviously important. You want to win every game if possible to build more momentum, build more confidence. On the other hand, also, it gives you the last opportunity to try things out. So you always risk a little bit the result.
These few days especially have given everybody a real lift as now we get closer to the World Cup. You can sense the excitement. You learn to let it reinforce how lucky we are to play for the national team and to have the support of so many people across the country.
We've got the entire U.S. men's national soccer team with us here.
fantastic year as a national team last year, so we're excited for what next month holds.
Let's see what does happen. The U.S. national team is here. What does happen to this squad? Do they get out of that group?
Oh, really? You're going to do this?
We might have a situation
By the way,
here.
The players hate you already, so you're good.
Look, part of my job is to say things that at times are unpopular. They're 5 feet away from me. They are right there. While I love and respect them, I don't think that they get out of the group. And please,
Josie's giving you
I've known Alexi a long time, and I respect him. You know, at the end of the day, their words are hollow. You know, everyone's words are hollow. It doesn't mean if they say we'd win the World Cup, it wouldn't matter what they say. You know, that's their job. That's, you know, they get paid really good salaries to sometimes rock the boat, sometimes go with the flow, say things controversially. They have a job to do.
It's just words. It's opinions. Everybody can have an opinion, and it's all good. We're the underdogs. People are gonna doubt us, and I think it's a way that we're gonna even come together even more. And so it's just fuel to the fire to get us more motivated, more focused, and I think it's great for us.
He's a midfielder, he's a bon vivant, he's a poet, and he's a US men's national hero. And he's poised at the age of 32 to make his first appearance in a World Cup final. Let's welcome to the stage a remarkable footballer and an even better human being.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Kyle Beckham.
It's totally different than a soccer stadium, that's for sure. In the soccer stadium, you're in your own element, you know what to expect. That, I had no idea. You can't really see people, you're blinded by the lights.
Kyle Beckham, I love you. I do. Here's why I love you. The Panama game. You led this team to victory, and I asked you afterwards what was going on, and you told me what the Panamanian midfielders were saying to you on the field.
They were trying to get us to take it easy on them.
Your quote to me at the time, which I taped, you said, the Panamanian midfielders were saying, "What are you doing, bro?"
They seem to know the international language for communication with Mr. Kyle Beckham.
And they said to Kyle, "Why are you playing so hard? You're already going to Brazil." And you said to them, do you remember?
I said, nothing's guaranteed.
He said, we're going to Brazil, but I'm not sure I'm going to Brazil. And Kyle played so hard that night. It was truly remarkable. And that to me is the essence of the way Kyle Beckham plays football, David.
You love to tackle and make a man squeal. When did you learn that?
You know, I'm just like everybody else. I want to score the goals. I want all that stuff. But when you become a pro, you got to find a way to get on the field. And so I had to adapt, and now I enjoy making the offender squeal.
Good. I mean, I'm going to let you all into a little secret. You know the World Cup. It's a spoiler alert. It's actually fixed, right? Would you like us to show you what is going to happen?
In Brazil?
In Brazil.
In lights.
Roll
Let's
tape.
cue it. It's the final. There we go. Step over here. We want to practice something. Okay, you can do the bottle of water. Okay. I'll do the World Cup. All right. Okay. When it's handed to you, I like a slightly more dramatic move when it's going to be lifted above your head. You want to accentuate two different parts of the body movement. You want to go up, but you also want to go down at the same time.
Lift the knees, lift the knees.
No stage fright. It was all good. As long as it's with Dave-O and Raj, that's for sure.
120. You were joking. You were joking before. You can't take that out? Stop playing. I swear, my girl. Are you kidding me? I mean, it's heavy, but yeah, look, you're heavy too. It's not that heavy. Yeah. Big boy, baby.
I swear, here, look.
There you go.
The build-up is exciting, and now it's exciting to you know, come here to New York, get a few good training sessions in, but at a certain point it's like, you know, let's get this going already.
The 30-man, where were you when you found out, and how did that come?
I was home, and then just going through my emails, and then suddenly you see from U.S. Soccer, and then you get, oh, all right, what's this gonna be? And of course you get that a little bit nervous or excited, whatever, and then you see her on the 30-man roster. Excited.
I don't think as a team we're really focused on just the defense. We're focused on all the areas of the field. It's you guys that are making the defense such a big story.
Someone like Cristiano Ronaldo, how do you stop him, or is it just containing him?
How do you stop him?
Right.
You steal the ball from him. You know, he's human. You know, he's not a superhero. At the end of the day, we're all soccer players. In this type of camp, there's a lot going on. You wake up at 7:30 and you go on an empty stomach run, 2-mile run. You come back, you eat breakfast, and you go to your first training session on the field in the morning.
Don't let him out!
After the training session, you'll go in the gym for an hour. You'll go right to lunch, and then you have another afternoon session.
One goes, the other goes! One goes, the other goes! Come on! Now keep it!
You know, it can add up on you. But we're training for the World Cup. Yeah, I look up to Michael Bradley a lot. And it's funny because he's actually younger than me. He's 5 months younger than me. But a lot of people don't know that we grew up playing together. I was from Kansas, but he was living in Chicago when we were 10, 11, 12 years old. We would play on the regional teams together. I played club soccer in Kansas, and you're trying to get recruited to colleges and youth national teams. People may not respect you as much, and that's something that I use as motivation. I remember vividly in 2012, I had heard that I was in consideration to be named to the January camp, and you know, I basically got my hopes up. I felt like I deserved to be there, but when the final roster came out, I wasn't on the list.
Yes, pace. Yes.
I remember writing on this yellow Post-it note the 5 central defenders that were in camp that were ahead of me. They certainly deserved to be there, but when I saw that list and I saw my name not on there, it motivated me to get my game to another level. The Mexico game, that was my first ever qualifier. I really looked at it as a major opportunity for myself and for the team. And you know, I did my best to relax, to play confident, and take advantage of that chance. A lot of people remind me that apparently that game was a big deal.
The USA get a priceless away point, and it was a heroic rearguard action.
In the first of the team's 3 send-off games, it was the back line that drew the most scrutiny.
Listen, going into the World Cup, the #1 concern has been the same for the last 18 months for Jurgen Klinsmann. It's who's his back four. This is the 11th straight game we're seeing a different back four.
You look across the back four, and not a lot of the guys have ever been in the World Cup, have ever played in the World Cup. And so immediately, people are going to question that.
Wiesler. Nice pass straight to Javadov. Tim Howard called into action, and it was sloppy play by the US that offered the chance to Javadov.
The hardest thing is developing a relationship in such a short period of time. We've been mixing it up in training sessions and getting used to Matt Besler, Omar Gonzalez, and Jonathan Brooks. We're all kind of getting used to one another with our playing styles and partnerships.
We look at the bigger picture. We look, if we move a player, let's say Fabian Johnson, we'll move him from the midfield role into a fullback role. What does it overall mean to our game? That shifts not only one little issue, it shifts maybe 2 or 3 things around, So we have to make sure that they all fit, they all match up, the chemistry is the right one, the support in each position is the right one.
One of the biggest remaining open questions at camp is who will start in the center of defense. There are 4 players vying for the 2 spots.
Central defenders obviously have to have one of the best partnerships on the pitch. The fact that, everybody is relying on them through instructions, organizing the team. If we're not doing our job organizing, then it could be a disaster.
The second of 3 tune-up games for the U.S. men's national team brings anticipation of answers for the players and fans alike. Will the starting lineup today hold clues for who will be in the first 11 in Brazil? And will an inexperienced back line hold up against a more stern test posed by the Turkish attack?
Interestingly, Ghana ranked 38 in the world. Turkey, although they didn't qualify, 39. Big test today. They haven't got long to get it all sorted out. Stuff like that from Dempsey. Great confidence. Little cameo of flair. Just check this out from Clint Dempsey. See you later. Isak with a into an opportunity here. Were very, very lucky there.
Well, when we came into this game, what did I talk about? Communication. This is Matt Besler and Timmy Chandler's first time playing together. Now you regroup here.
Well, the back 4 being used today, none of them have played in the World Cup. There's a corner. It is Altidore, but it's going to be disallowed. He put it in the back of the net. To say that was extremely generous to the Turks, that, and pretty unlucky for Josie Altidore. Fabian Johnson. Oh yes, that is a fantastic goal. It's his first one in an American shirt, and it's one to put in the treasure trove for Fabian Johnson. Who felt that.
There's one thing you're never going to question about Jermaine Jones is playing with emotion, putting his body on the line.
Being warmed up is Kyle Beckerman, who will have his own dreams of playing at the World Cup. It's his first chance. He's been a great soldier around the American soccer scene at the age of 32. Bradley to Davis and Chandler. Deflected on the way, could have gone in and has gone in. 2-0, Clint Dempsey. A gift, really, from the Turkish defence. He doesn't care, and the US are 2 up. Zusi's arriving on the back post. This could be 3, but it isn't. It's now Altidore, no flag, no whistle. Altidore doesn't manage to finish it, denied by another player. He's going to last. Now, how belated a whistle was that?
Whether there's a whistle or not, Jozy Altidore still didn't finish the playoff.
On comes Julian Green for only his 2nd cap. This is the player who's played more minutes now for the US than he has for his club, Bayern Munich. Zusi, lovely ball, and Green with an opportunity, and he was unable to take it. Mix Discarud, the creative midfield player, lots of talent. He's got to prove it on the biggest stage of all pretty soon.
But he has proven it coming off the bench, Ian. We've seen it against Russia, against Mexico, and then the other night against Azerbaijan. When he comes off the bench, he provides that little spark that Jurgen Klinsmann needs.
Discarud couldn't bring it down. Green goes down in front of the referee. The USA there wasted a very good opportunity. Something. It's Mustafa. Mustafa. Is that handball? Was that going in? It's a penalty kick. It looked like a handball. That's a great penalty. No stopping that. Not even Brad Guzan. Making it 2-1. That is it. 2 warm-up games. 2 wins for the USA. Jurgen Klinsmann still with a lot of thinking to do about who fits where, what the starting lineup ought to be when the World Cup comes around.